Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, this is session number 48. So, after being stranded on the Vorcha homeworld of Heshtok for over a week, you staged a daring escape with the help of the Stormbreaker, the Arcturian Blade, and an Emberclad and Satan's Angel fighter. Taking the Vorcha Elder Bazira, a majority of surviving Vorcha, and the surviving crew of the Moray aboard your newly formed Vorcha carrier, your crew managed to survive a direct attack from a Reaper capital ship. And with all the combined efforts of all ships, the Reaper was destroyed, taking the underground city of Hatash with it. Nevertheless, you each received a telepathic feeling of comfort from the Void Mother. You know in your hearts that you did well. At last, you were able to reunite with not only the crew of the Stormbreaker, but also some Tortugan friends. Rourke recognized his mother, ? And Spanky cuddled up to Strux for the first time in a long time.
No.
You were also introduced to the crew of the Can, Zeb and Xylus, Alina, and Curl. Ashen was given the opportunity to become captain of his old vessel again, which he ended up accepting. After the touching reunions, everyone answered an Alliance transmission, summoning each of the ships to mobilize with the galactic fleets in the Arcturus stream. The anonymous Alliance contact explained that the situation has become critical after the fall of Thessia, and that the Citadel has moved to the Sol system in Earth's orbit. In response, 3 fleets, Shield, Sword, and Hammer, will be dispatched to Earth in 5 days. Ashen and his ship are sent to Sword. You all as a party decided the Vorcha were best sent to Hammer, and while the Stormbreaker and the Arcturian Blade are being sent to Shield. Now Preston immediately deduces Shield is referring to the Crucible project, and becomes satisfied at the prospect of heading precisely where he believes his goals lie. During the downtime aboard the Dreadnought, Juan takes the opportunity to have some one-on-one time with Preston. And while Juan challenges Preston to a drinking game, knowing full well of the game's futility, he is able to establish a bit of an understanding with the dear Orion boy before passing out aboard the Stormbreaker. Piper catches Preston right after and has yet another heart-to-heart with him. And while he seems to be in a good mood, he suddenly becomes sullen and wanders off to the helm of the Dreadnought. Ashen follows him, but Preston was just insistent about wanting to be alone for the remainder of the voyage. After receiving some advice from Julian, Piper is then consoled by Meeri, Ashen, Rourke, Xylus, and Zebin. And one long rest later, everyone awoke to see off Ashen and traversed beyond the edge of the Arcturus stream, arriving at the mostly complete Crucible. So, just to backpedal slightly, as the Stormbreaker emerges from hyperspace, let's see here. There we go. Alongside the Arcturian Blade. Sheeta immediately circles around the mass relay and heads out of the system into empty space. For what seems like hours, you drift through vast nothingness, until, through the darkness, you spot gigantic silhouettes. Distant flickering lights spark across a massive spire, with hundreds upon hundreds of ships of varying types, including what you recognize as Geth warships. Upon closing the distance, the galaxy map in the CIC blips away, and in its stead a hologram of known Alliance hero Admiral Hackett, leader of the Alliance, greets your crew. SSV Stormbreaker, welcome to Shield Fleet. Report to the Crucible immediately. We have a job to do. Hack it out.
He sounds important.
Yeah, well, he's kind of the admiral of the Alliance, so he's pretty important.
Oh, yeah, I'd say he is.
Yeah, pretty important. Pretty.
Yeah, no pressure.
Up there in the ranks, so we probably should, get moving. Better not keep him waiting.
As your ship continues its approach, you notice a number of familiar Quarian ships, including but not limited to the Navara. Meeri, it's your home vessel.
Mm-hmm.
The Leono, the ship that was rescued from Kaelston way back when.
Yo.
And you also notice probably the largest Quarian ship, the Quib, the notorious live ship in charge of the civilian fleet.
Holy shit.
And this is a new site. The Quarians are nearly matched in numbers by Geth ships, which seem to work in close tandem with everyone.
Right.
Yeah, we did that, didn't we?
Gotta get used to that.
You see Alliance, Turian, Asari ships, you see them all. However, you do notice there is a lack of Solarian ships in the fleet. There's a couple, but not too many. And you notice that a large portion of the ships are of designs that you don't exactly recognize, that dot the exterior of the Crucible.
Third party?
It seems difficult to place their origin.
Oh, looks like the gang's all here. Let's go.
So, there are several docks scattered across the Crucible's tower, its spire. And it's all crowded with frigates of similar size to the Stormbreaker. And just like that, Cheetah breaks off from the Arcturian Blade's side to land in the middle of the station. You see below numerous workers, scientists, soldiers, all manner of people bustling about on the platforms below, all contributing what they can to the project, whether it be transporting supplies, carrying tools, or standing guard. You look at the structure around you, and your surroundings, while they are not fully complete, you get the sense that there's this elegance to the design of the Crucible, despite what would otherwise be considered a rather industrial vibe.
It looks like an album cover.
Well, yeah. You could say that, I guess.
So, before you land, you notice a figure flanked by two others, what seems to be an Alliance official, and two guards, awaits for the Stormbreaker to dock.
Professionalism mode activated.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's where we need to go. And Piper's gonna start heading over there to them.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I'll go.
So
I'll come too.
Outside of the Crucible has an artificial gravity to it and an atmosphere. Do you guys suit up in your armor, or are you just like in your casual attire?
I've always got my stuff on.
I
right.
mean,
I know the Quarians
hey,
are a
yeah.
little limited.
I always look this good.
I'm
Strux is
never
usually
taking
in
this
his armor.
jetpack off.
If I take this off, I die.
I will die.
I mean, assuming we're not in a currently hostile place, I think Piper's is probably gonna be casual, but still look nice because there's obviously like officers here that probably higher ranked than her. So
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Just pull a shepherd and just like wear a fucking hoodie to the fucking crew meeting.
Oh, I always dress Shepard up for the conclusion.
No, she'll dress her, she'll make herself look nice and presentable, especially after a call from Hackett. So yeah.
Okay, so you put on an old officer's uniform from your training at the academy. Strux, you want to put on your armor or your tiger stripe onesie or whatever that thing is?
It was a suit.
It was a suit.
No, he'd probably be better off in his armor.
This is a serious occasion.
He's not going to a party. He'll put on his armor and look presentable.
So, with all of your crewmates eager to check out the Crucible that they have now landed upon, the ramp descends. And as you exit the Stormbreaker, you're greeted with a familiar face. You see two privates, two Alliance privates, that both salute the moment your foot touches the dock, Piper.
Ooh.
And you see the figure step forward, adorned in Alliance officer's armor. And she takes off her helmet to reveal that this is Adriana.
Hey.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Hey there, squatty.
Yeah, long time no see.
Glad you could make it.
Yeah, makes two of
I
us.
hope the coordinates weren't too secretive, too confusing.
No, we have a pretty good pilot. I think she was able to handle it. And for me, it was fine, too. So, a little weird, but we got here.
That's just the precautions we gotta take.
Right.
The Crucible's been on the move several times since it began construction. And this is where we're gonna finish it. Not sure if you heard. We haven't really been able to send out too many comms. But Hackett has appointed me Chief of Security aboard the Crucible.
Oh, wow, look at you.
That's new.
Wow.
I mean, that's not surprising. I mean, you always kick people's ass back at the
Impressive, though.
academy, but still. Good for you.
Yes, I can't help but feel very honored, but I also feel like you and some of our more heroic squad mates deserve more praise.
No, I think there's a lot going on that promotions aren't really on the mind right now.
You'd
Save
be
that for
surprised.
after.
The word is every contributor to the Crucible project will be granted massive gratuities upon the war's end.
Well, that would be nice. But yeah, that's assuming, we get through this mess.
Live.
We will, Juan. But yeah,
Hey, I know.
but yeah.
That's the right mindset. Additionally, and she glances at the rest of your crew with a smile on her face, any past crimes will be waived, so you won't have to worry about that business on the Citadel ever again.
Right. That's good news, actually.
Relief.
No. It's my mission today to escort you to the war room here on the Crucible. Everyone
Okay.
needs to get
Mhm.
filled in on what the plan is.
Yeah, that would be nice. I
That
don't
would be
like going
awesome.
in blind. So, yeah.
We can take the scenic route around here, though.
There's a scenic route.
Oh,
It's
yes.
like it's just industrial to me, but I trust you. If you say there's one, let's see it.
It's probably the most impressive project ever attempted by this galaxy's generation. It's quite the marvel. So she begins to lead you through the exterior walkways of the Crucible. Around you, you see, I don't think you've ever seen a more diverse, in terms of species and class, set of people all occupying the same space. You pass what appear to be construction workers, adorned in hard hats and industrial suits. You see soldiers, members of the Alliance, talking to Asari commandos. You see refugees, ordinary folk, that seem to have a hold on some rations. And you barely get any sense of any kind of squabbles around you.
Okay.
That's refreshing.
Everyone's playing nice.
Because, when the galaxy's at stake, people can get along.
That is, until you round a corner.
I spoke too soon.
Uh-huh.
And you all are taken aback by the sight of what you recognize to be the Rachni, as a drone rounds the corner, carrying a handful of steel beams. It barely pays you any attention and brushes past you.
What the fuck?
Well,
What?
that's new.
As it passes you, you see two construction workers with hard hats on, one human, one Volus, talking to each other, not quite paying enough attention to where they're going, and they accidentally run square into this Rachni,
Uh-oh.
causing it to drop its beams. And the Volus takes quite a tumble. He falls on his bum, while his human friend scowls at the Rachni and begins to shout expletives at it.
Language.
Hey! It was just doing its own job.
You hear other people calling out similar statements until the Rachni turns its attention to the two workers and hisses at them.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you tell him.
Before it can lash out, you hear the heavy flutter of what appears to be large insect wings descending from above. And before you can really take in the situation, before you lands very gracefully what appears to be a collector.
What?
And it very gently presses its hand against the Rachni's head. Some of the through traffic just keeps walking, but some stop and watch as the Rachni calms. It gives the two men, the collector and your party, a bow, picks up its beams and continues on its way.
Huh.
Does anyone know what the fuck is going on?
I'm officially lost.
The Volus just looks up at you as he gets up after being stuck on his back like a turtle. He just goes, "Damn bugs think they own the place."
Hey, let's not get racist, dude.
They're clearly just here to help.
As
You know-
helpful as they've been, I don't like being treated like I'm invisible.
Maybe
This
you should
guy's like-
also watch where you're going next time.
I try my best. This project is quite crazy.
So it would seem.
The human just goes like, "Sorry about that. I didn't mean to raise my voice. Just not used to seeing him yet is all."
Hey, listen, that's fair. It's weird days.
You've just been working long shifts.
This man is so real.
We were just about to head over to the Galaxy's End Club and call it for the day.
A club, you say?
Yeah, only just recently installed. It's boosted the morale of folks around here quite a bit.
Guys, can we go to the club?
Miri,
After-
how many end of the world parties are we gonna have?
As many as are possible while the world is ending.
How about we focus on our important meetings first, and then if we have any extra time, we'll go visit.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to go to the club too. Cut a rug.
Maybe we'll see you there later then.
Hopefully.
Perhaps.
I'll wear my tiger suit.
Hell yeah, brother.
No more potato salad.
The two workers take a glance at the collector standing before them and then move on their way. It seems to have directed its gaze to your party. And you see its
I'll
head
give,
tilt
like-
a little bit.
Oh my.
Hi, with like a little slow wave.
Hi.
Good to have you here.
You see it blink very slowly. And it stretches out a hand to go into for a handshake.
I'm gonna shake this fucking collector's hand.
Yeah.
So I
Fucking
need you
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
to make an intelligence save.
Uh-oh.
I
Oh.
bet. I'm great at those. Wait, fuck. Yeah, I'm super great at those, actually.
I was
Hold
gonna
on.
say, you better be.
Oh, I'm the best at those. Hold on. That's a natural 20 for a 27.
Dang.
Yo.
So you're used to your mind not being your own
I've
in the
just
past.
been numb to
Well.
it.
between Reaper artifacts, between Element Zero entities,
Void Mom.
the embrace of a collector's vision seems like nothing to you. And you see very, very clear images of unknown aliens you don't recognize, all aboard a vessel similar to the Crucible you stand upon now, except this version is set ablaze with red-hot energy of Reaper lasers blowing the station apart around this individual's perspective.
Oh,
You
shit.
see a vision. The vision fades and transitions to the individual standing in front of what seems to be some kind of cocoon, like chrysalis, with the outline of a human inside. And this thing is pushing it along. Until suddenly, the vision is granted even more clarity. You see the figure's head shake and it decides to open the pod and let this human out.
Let's go, good guy.
And then its perspective raises up into the atmosphere through the stars, right all the way, zooming through the stars to where you're standing right now as you regain your own vision.
Well, shit. I think after all that, the most prominent one being Crucible but on fire. He'll just be like, "It's gonna work this time." I can tell you that much.
It closes its eyes and bows its head to you as it sprouts its wings once again and begins to hover away up to the platform it descended from.
Badass.
Huh.
That
This
was
guy's been
certainly
waiting for this a long time.
Yeah, that was definitely the last thing I ever expected to see around here.
Adriana just steps forward and says, "That's become a normal occurrence in the Crucible project.
Yeah.
A few awakened collectors have come to our aid.
Oh,
They have been even harder to trust than some of the Rachni, but they seem to have a grasp on dark energy theory, more so than even our top scientists.
well, the more the merrier.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we can get any help we can get.
As long as number go up.
Right.
Despite what you saw from those two men, trust me when I say I've seen more acceptance in my days aboard the Crucible than I ever have in my entire lifetime.
I think that's a really sad thing to say. Took the apocalypse, what we got there.
Yeah, I guess all it took was a change in perspective.
Nothing like impending doom to bring everyone together.
No, you got that
Say
right.
that again.
Better than never at all.
Agreed.
Right.
So,
That war room.
you continue on. Like I said, this design is unlike anything you've ever seen. There are elements of, Asari, Alliance, human design, but ultimately, it's something a bit unfamiliar. You notice that the majority of the workers around you, surprisingly, amongst all of the things you're not used to seeing, such as Arachnite drones, Geth, and even a scattered few awakened collectors, you notice that there's actually a surprising amount of Volus at work everywhere.
Well, I didn't think they wouldn't help. I didn't know how many of them would.
Hmm.
Also, I just need to commission Art of a Volus and a construction has some time.
Yes, please. You can see some of your crew members have been tailing behind, including Preston Orion, who seems to keep fidgeting with his fingers. He looks a little antsy, looking around, trying to take everything in.
Well, what do you
Keep up.
think? Is this everything you hoped for?
It's more than I could have hoped for. Our galaxy's really outdone themselves.
Yeah, it's definitely a marvel to see, that's for sure.
I think this is going to work.
It has to, otherwise we're all dead. You know, not to be morbid or anything, but that's just the reality of it all.
Right. And with my help, I think we can see this through to the end.
Yeah, let's hope so.
It's at this point, Strux, Spanky has been on your shoulder, just kind of taking in the sights along with you.
Yes.
Oh, is he good
Suddenly,
looking shit?
you slightly, gradually feel the weight lift off of your shoulder.
Oh. Where you going, buddy?
You look at him, and he just looks at you just confused, and he appears to be floating
What?
Oh.
off of your shoulder.
Huh?
Well, that's different.
And
Hijacks float, and we never knew.
And before he starts to kick about, you see, like, almost like something you can't quite see is giving him a bit of a head scratch. And he goes limp and just accepts it.
Uh-huh. Can, Piper,
Alright.
like... Oh, sorry. Can Piper, like, find, like, a rock or something and then throw it towards, like...
A rock.
Just, like, a little pebble, like, not, like, a huge rock, but, like, something small to throw.
Okay, there are no, like, natural, like
something
rocks or anything
small,
here.
But,
It's
yeah.
all, like, machinery. But I'm
Yeah.
sure you could find, like, a loose, like, bolt or something.
Yeah, just something, because... See if obviously someone's holding them, so she's gonna throw it like a bolt or something at them, where she thinks they might be.
Make a ranged
Where-
attack roll, then.
Okay,
Wearing a cloak of some kind.
that's my thought.
Think he can fly?
Ranged attack, so what is that just... What modifier am I? Like my
Just
dex?
your
or-
dexterity.
my
Yeah.
dex?
Yeah,
Okay.
just like a dex check, basically.
Okay. 13.
13.
Mm-hmm.
You throw a little bolt you find off the ground in the direction of right, kind of like below where Spanky is. And the moment it leaves your hand, Spanky drops to the floor, and his tail sticks up. And you just hear the words, "Missed me," and you hear something pitter patter down the walkway.
What the hell?
Okay,
What is
what
this
the
trickery?
Interesting.
do we want to like check that out? That was weird.
Adriana's just shaking her head.
Adriana, what was that? You have any clue?
Oh, just the worst kept secret aboard this station. You'll find out soon enough. I wouldn't want to spoil the surprise.
What?
Information is crucial to be shared these days, Adriana.
There's no harm to be done, trust me.
Secrets
There's only a
friends.
fucking ghost on your space station.
Ghost?
Yes. The Crucible's haunted, you see.
Ooh.
Crucible's haunted. Fucking Doc's pistol. Crucible's haunted.
When things got truly chilling.
So,
Okay.
Keep my eyes out.
Let's keep going.
Strux
the
put a
smile.
leash on Spanky.
yeah, Spanky seems to cling to your shoulder a little tighter now.
Oh.
You're staying with me, buddy.
I never get over the spanky noise.
What was that, buddy? I didn't quite hear you.
It's like an waspinator. Just...
Right back at you, bud.
God.
So, you arrive. What you could consider the Crucible is constantly rotating. There is no cardinal directions necessarily, but you start to reach the top of the Crucible's tower, emitting from the massive orb at the end. Descending inside the Crucible itself, you find yourself in what appears to look something like a small auditorium, like a little lecture hall, complete with a war room table in the middle, holographic displays of several Alliance fronts. You see some Alliance officials dressed in their blue uniforms, attending to business at their station. You see other tables scattered across the room with numerous species officials manning the tables. You can see this is where the orders are given. And at the very end of the room, where all the seats in the room surround, you notice a giant viewing window to which you see the same Alliance Admiral you saw back on the Stormbreaker, Admiral Hackett, with his hands behind his back, admiring the progress of the Crucible project. Alongside him are a few other figures, some of which you recognize.
Heyo.
In addition to some Alliance officials, you see a young woman dressed in a scientist's uniform with round spectacles and a messy bun pulled back, frantically looking through her PDA. You see a couple other, what you can assume to be rear admirals of the Alliance, discussing something next to Hackett. And you also see a Quarian who appears to be an older man. Also, not as frantic, but definitely sucked into his own data pad in front of him. And you see two more figures. The large, hulking Geth that is Cat Prime, and the small Geth dog that is Sevnar.
Yay!
Kill you.
How's it going?
Yes, aka kill you.
Hey, buddy.
Do not talk to my father like that.
You want some scratches, bud?
No.
They all turn to meet you. And without taking his hands away from behind his back, you see Admiral Hackett kind of nod his head at your direction and just say, "The Stormbreaker crew. I've heard many tales."
Admiral? They're probably true.
Let's hope most of them aren't true. But you see he's still smiling.
Everything you
Deserve
heard
that.
about me is true.
Something greater good?
You could see your robotic parents rush up to give you a hug, Meeri.
Hi, guys!
Daughter.
Bruh.
Seb's just circling your feet.
Hi, Dad.
I'm gonna get
Fine.
your belly. I'm gonna get your belly.
No.
We're so glad you could make it. We were quite surprised when you sent us a transmission yesterday.
Well, I figured I'd at least try.
Even with all of our encryptions. Of course you would get past.
What can I say? You taught me well back in the day.
Yeah, you have a very skilled daughter. Doesn't surprise me. But she's on our side, so.
We are lucky to have her on this project.
I am ready and happy to help however I can.
Juan, you notice that this Quarian man has not lifted his gaze up from his tablet in front of him.
Uh-huh.
And he almost seems like he's muttering to himself.
Mm-hmm.
You see, the human scientist look at your group. Free her gaze freed from her work. And then she looks back at him, and then back at your group, and back at him again, and just gives him an aggressive nudge. And he like snaps back to reality and looks around, almost like he got woken up from sleep.
I see.
And before you just hear, "Ah, my son."
Oh.
I am, like, without missing a beat, like, not saying anything, I'm just going to, like, fucking, just, like, stomp right up to him. And, like, just, like, grab him by the collar of his suit and just yank him in for a big, tight hug.
Oh.
He still trying to hold the tablet in his hands, but eventually just drops it to the ground and goes to return the hug.
Oh.
It's really good to see you.
I love you, son. I have much explaining to do. I'm sure you have lots of questions.
Yeah, we got a bit of catching up.
Let's just say I've had quite the important tasks ahead of me the past couple of years.
Oh, it's been no cakewalk here either.
Yes, with your mission and my work for a certain shadow broker, there hasn't been much room for communication.
Yeah, that'll do it. It's like not the answer he was expecting.
It can all
That's
be
it.
out in the open now.
To tell me about it after this when we've got time.
Remind me to take your picture after we're done here. I am assigned to be the chronicler of the Crucible project, and it is my job to preserve our history as we know it.
I'll put on my best face for it.
Always with a sense of humor, son.
Oh,
my
24/7. Always has the quips.
Wait, Juan has a sense of humor?
He tries.
Is this your squad?
Yeah. They're pretty cool, I guess.
Hi, Juan's dad.
Hello, do I know you?
No. I'm
Oh.
Meeri.
It's my job to know everything.
Evidently, you know her parents. Points at the robots.
Yeah, they're mine.
This is just one big family reunion then.
Something like that.
Sort of, yeah.
Very good.
I'm gonna like pick up his data pad from the ground and hand it to him.
Okay, you gonna sneak a look at it?
Well, now that you've opened the door,
Oh.
sure, why not?
Okay, give me a sleight of hand check then.
Oh.
You know what? If he catches me, he can't be mad. I've waited long enough. I get
Come on,
to take my
Infiltrator.
peeks. 17.
17. So you can't notice anything. You can't make out like entire sentences, but you catch glimpses of different tabs open on his tablet. Of like, you see one's like extranet emails. You see one that is like Prothean history. You see another, it says like Rannoch free. It seems to be like a news update.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course you see another. You see like some Alliance intelligence regarding Earth.
Yeah. Okay. I won't say anything about it. I'll just hand it to him.
Thank you. Sorry. I'm afraid I haven't changed too much. I get just so wrapped up in my work.
Oh, I get that.
But if it means anything, I want to try and be there for you and your mother after this is all over.
Right. You heard from her recently? Last I heard, she was all right.
She's safe. And the remaining civilian fleet orbiting Rannoch.
All right, good.
Rannoch has yet to be invaded. We are so lucky. We're the last ones left.
Like, we were pretty fucking hard to get it back. I don't want to lose it again.
I heard that was in no small part thanks to you and your newfound friends here.
It was a team effort.
Damn straight.
A Krogan. You can you see like an intimidated smile behind his mask.
Why?
Don't worry, he's an old softie.
Just don't eat anything he brings to a party.
Don't.
Good to know.
It's funny, but you'll regret it. Let's not delay the important cabinet meeting with our reunions over there, and I'll like pat him on the shoulder. Let's get to work for 5 minutes.
You see Hackett gesture everyone to take a seat. Just goes like, let's get this meeting underway. We have much to discuss.
Of course,
Indeed.
Admiral. Take a seat.
Mm-hmm.
You see, as you're taking a seat, everyone begins to find a spot, save for Preston, who actually goes up to Admiral Hackett and begins to have a very quiet conversation with him.
Piper's just gonna glare at him or watch him. Just think like, don't do anything stupid or say anything.
Here we go.
Unless any one of you are planning on eavesdropping, you all notice Hackett gesture over to the Alliance scientist by his side, and then give Preston a nod. And Preston, nods back and goes to take a seat with the rest of you.
Doing all good?
I was just asking for a tour of the energy core. We're going to need to know its inner workings.
Fair enough.
After this meeting, I think dear Dr. Mosley there is going to give us the tour.
Good.
And as the room darkens a bit, as the Stormbreaker crew, a bulk of the crew of your ship sits at attention to these officials before them, Admiral Hackett just says, like, I'd like to begin by offering my sincerest gratitude for the work you've committed under Alliance colors. The retaking of Rannoch was no small feat. and the preservation of our Vorcha allies is to be commended.
We try.
It is my honor to bring everyone's attention to the discussion of where you will end up after the war's end. Every contributor to this project, no matter the time, is going to be granted massive gratuities upon our victory.
Okay.
In other words, you will have the priority on properties and promotions across the galaxy. And this isn't an issue of credits. We're all in this together now. As it should be. Now, I'm going to hand it over to the Naras. And they're going to explain our role in our galactic assault on Earth. And with that, he steps aside and lets the Geth duo of massive and small proportions take center stage. Right. Welcome to Shield Fleet. I take it your journey here was uneventful.
Mostly, yeah.
Well, it is our job to protect the Crucible at all costs. Because of the summit's success, we'll be sending all of our galactic resources to Earth. Fortunately, the Citadel's arms have closed up, preventing entry for the Crucible. Thanks to the Prothean VI vendetta, we've uncovered that the catalyst, the missing component that's been eluding us for nearly a year, is the Citadel itself. So, Hammer Team will have the responsibility of beaming up to the Citadel and opening the arms for us, while Sword Fleet keeps the Reapers off of us. We are working with a lot of unknowns, however. There's no guarantee this beam even works. And despite how this project has been going, there's no guarantee the Crucible will even fire. But that's why we have brought experts that have been in contact with Reaper technology many times before to ensure the Crucible fires as planned. All we have to do is rely on Hammer, and we'll get a clear shot.
Sounds simple enough, in theory.
As simple
On
as it can
paper.
be. Yeah.
You will, of course, have the choice of remaining on your ship, Stormbreaker, as you fly around the station itself as it prepares to dock, or you can remain on the Crucible itself.
Oh.
Hmm.
Okay.
The decision will be yours. We know you
Right.
won't misplace your talents.
Mm-hmm.
Think that's something we can all talk over and reach an agreement on?
Yeah.
You have 5 days to decide.
That's plenty
In the
time.
meantime, In the
Yeah.
meantime, there will be plenty of time to catch up, get your bearing.
Okay. That sounds good to me.
Is there any other questions? The stakes may be galactic in scale, but the plan is quite simple, we think.
Mm-hmm.
Is there
Seems pretty yeah.
Is there anything we need to be doing before then? Like individually, or we just kind of waiting?
You see the Alliance scientist woman step forward, and she just goes like, I believe your companion has asked to see the energy core of the Crucible.
Right, yeah, that's my brother. So.
In truth, full transparency, we don't know how this machine works. We were simply following a blueprint laid before us by the Protheans. We followed it the best we can, and I've done my best to keep up with the work I've studied back at Exogeny. But it's all theory, I'm afraid. Any insight you could give on ensuring the success of this project would be much appreciated.
Well, I mean, we have some pretty intelligent people on our team. I'm sure we could take a look at it, see if we have any insight input from our, knowledge.
Yeah.
Well, any help would be appreciated.
Of course.
Beyond that, it's your job to keep morale up.
I'm great at that.
We know what you can do on the Stormbreaker. If you think you can raise everyone's team spirit up aboard the Crucible, that might help more than you know.
Nothing like a good old-fashioned night out in the club.
It's like every Saturday.
Oh shit. Let's go for it.
Of course, you are not confined to the Crucible itself. You are free to leave with your ship. Take care of any business you have not yet had a chance to attend to, as long as you make it back here within the next 5 days. We just must ask you do not fly into Reaper territory. I know that limits your options a bit, but...
Didn't plan on it.
You all are more than just valuable assets for this war. Your family. So please do take care.
Oh. It's sweet that you care.
Of course they care.
We owe you our life. I hear rumors. You see Sevnara step forward to you, Miri.
Yeah.
I hear rumors that there is some kind of project you've been working on.
Yeah?
I hate to ask this. Yeah, I'm supposed to provide for you. But would you suppose there's any time to attempt some kind of conversion of consciousness? We have state-of-the-art labs here.
I would be more than happy.
I'm tired of being a dog.
we found something during our travels that may work pretty well, I think. Hopefully.
Well, let's see it.
Well, come to my ship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see the Stormbreaker again.
You guys can make Amobi nervous while you're at it too. Win-win.
Yeah.
Sounds good then.
Is that where we want to go first, or should we continue touring the Crucible?
I think we got plenty of time to do all of it.
Yeah, sounds like it. Anyway.
Preston just goes like, I won't rush you as long as we don't forget.
You want to go on the special VIP tour?
I do. Yes, Juan. Yes, I want to go on the VIP tour. Is that what you want to hear?
This is the best day ever. Thank you.
Fine then. Take your parents to the Stormbreaker. I'm gonna have a look around.
Don't cause any trouble.
Got nowhere to go.
Yeah, well, we'll meet you somewhere eventually. After, they do their thing.
Mm-hmm. He nods and he goes to the Alliance scientist. You see her tag reads Kyra Mosley. And she gives him like a right this way and leads him into the station. Adriana just goes like, as chief of security, I feel like I should keep an eye on him.
Yeah,
After everything we've been through for him.
Yeah, one of us needs to go with him, and we're in a weird spot right now, otherwise I would go. So.
I got you covered.
Thank you. I owe you.
Just take your time. He's not going to go anywhere.
I know, but yeah. Thank you.
Maybe I'll even remind him what you've gone through for him.
Good luck with that.
And she kind of tails after them.
Okay, back to the Stormbreaker?
Mm-hmm.
Works for me.
Yeah, sure.
Alrighty. So, as you head back to the Stormbreaker, once again, you're just marveled by the diversity here on the Crucible station. And Piper, you actually notice that some of the Alliance guards stationed around, a lot of them salute you as you pass.
Oh. I'll just nod, I guess. Back at him.
Mm-hmm.
Stormtrooper?
It's hard. It's hard to see their expressions behind the masks, but Juan and Miri, you definitely get the sense that some Quarians bow in respect to you as you pass as well.
I acknowledge each and every one of them in return as it happens.
Yes.
Like you said, Stormtrooper.
Stormtrooper.
And Strux, you see some Tortugan pirates around.
Roll.
Some
the boys.
loose Blood Pack members that are setting up turrets on the side of the Crucible and holding missile launchers ready to act as the station's defense. And when they catch sight of you, they hold their weapons above their heads and just go like, la 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 at you.
Hi guys, you missed me.
We love you, Strux. You hear like random Vorcha call out.
Oh, thanks, buddy. I love you too.
I love you too, random citizen.
Pretty much. You're breathtaking.
Seems you've amassed a fan base, says Cat Prime.
Yeah, we've been around the block.
This happens a lot.
I'm an organic synthetic hybrid, walking in broad daylight, and all they can focus on is you four. You must feel very proud. I, for one, am very proud of you.
Yeah, that goes into it.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Thanks, buddy, he says to the giant fucking robot.
And then you arrive back at the Stormbreaker.
Hell yeah.
And you know what? I know it's really, really soon, but I think that's where I'm going to end the session tonight. I didn't have
Honestly,
a lot
Top point.
that was a
Yeah.
nice little thing.
Yeah.
It's a good transition.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just wanted
fair
to set
enough.
up what was going on.
Yeah. There's like a nice little like in between
Yeah.
like sort of thing.
Yeah.
Nice transition.
I just fucking said that.
Yeah, and I'm agreeing with you, asshole.
Great minds think alike.
Exactly.
Don't compare me to them.
We're both
That's
very
great.
smart.
Great minds can be slightly better than other great minds.
Exactly.